I owned and shot many different Fuji cameras: X-T30, X-H1, X-T3, X-E4, and finally my all-time favorite X Pro 1 and X Pro 3. And all this time I refrained from taking X100 cameras seriously for a few reasons, but mainly because of the lens. You see, some people just love the 35mm equivalent lenses, but not me. It was always an odd focal length for me to use. It's either too wide or too narrow for what I want to capture. I did a review of original X100 camera, and after about 7-8 months of using it, I didn't manage to get used to that lens. Recently, I decided to give it a try once again, this time with Fuji X100V. And you know what? It changed my mind. Hello and welcome back to Aperture Valley. Today we'll talk about X100V, but before I'm gonna talk about today's sponsor. When it came to choosing one, I gave it a good thought, trying to find something I'd be confident in talking about. Some of you know that I live in China, and this channel, my Instagram and my entire digital life here depend on ExpressVPN. I've been using it for years now, and trust me when I say that if VPN works here, it sure will work for you too. It's simple and works with anything except maybe cameras. They have a huge selection of servers to choose from to help you get access to all your favorite sports streams and online streaming platforms, no matter what kind of geographical or censorship restrictions you're facing. Not to mention that ExpressVPN is the one of the few that does work with Netflix. So if it's something you're interested in, you can find out how you can get 3 months free by clicking the link in the description box below, expressvpn.com/AV. Now back to my new and shiny Fuji X100V. Coming from X Pro 3, I had my doubts, but thinking about it more and more made me reconsider. I made a video not long ago about my opinion on where the fixed lens cameras are heading and are they the future of photography. If you watched it, you know that even though I'm not after resolution in my cameras, but I personally see the logic and value behind having a high megapixel sensor and a fixed lens combination. And something tells me that the new 40MP X-Trans 5 is surely making its way into the next iteration of X100 cameras. So before that, I decided to see how the workflow goes with it and try to love this camera. But I didn't have to try hard really. As for the first impressions, X100V is subjectively better made than X Pro 3, that's for sure. More solid and sleek, the design is just what I would love to see in X Pro 4. Cleaner lines, less buttons. The screen isn't hidden like on X Pro 3, so I'm getting used to swipe functions. Those who follow me know that I prioritize weight and size when choosing gear, and here X100V is clearly superior, although it comes at expense of a bit less confident grip and single card slot. It is smaller and lighter than X Pro 3 body without the lens. And talking about the lens, the 35mm equivalent Fujinon strapped to X100V is my main constraint, or so I was thinking. This 23mm f2 lens is compact and sharp, but what about versatility? Can it effectively replace my Fuji X100V for X Pro 3? I'm yet to try the optical converters, but the digital conversion options for 35 and 50mm are very handy, and the results are much better than I expected. My only gripe is that I cannot assign the frame line switch to a button. I have to use the focus ring, but that's a matter of habit, I guess, so not crucial. I still need to shoot more, but from what I've seen so far, crops I get for 50 and 75mm equivalent fields of view are looking pretty good to me. I imagine the crops will be even better with the new 40MP sensor on board. As for the wider view, the optical wide converter or simple stitching can help me out with that. Again, need more time and shooting experience to be completely confident. But overall, I think my Fuji X100 trio of 16, 35 and 50mm primes can be roughly covered by this tiny X100V. And luckily, all my 49mm filters I have can screw on directly onto X100 lens, so there's another advantage. As for the camera overall, the workflow is definitely different from X Pro 3, but in a good way. I don't hassle with lenses as before, the built-in flash is awesome for portraits and I try to shoot my daily life with it more often. It is much more pocketable as well, so it is even easier to carry around. As for the 35mm equivalent lens, I'm still getting used to it, but I've already accepted the fact that whenever I shoot I need to compose with regard to future crop. And it works so far. I had some time to walk around with the camera and shoot a couple of pictures, and I couldn't be more happy. X100V is 90% of X Pro 3 and 100% of a perfect compact camera. But of course, fixed lens camera will never be able to replace everything, so I'm gonna keep shooting X Pro cameras as well as my wife's XE4 when I really want some eternal bleach bypass in my life. Hit the like button if you're also waiting for Fuji to add that to all the other cameras. So that's it. I'm just starting to get acquainted with X100V. You're probably gonna see more videos coming about it, so make sure you subscribe not to miss them. And if you have any suggestions or requests about the next episode, you can address them to me in a message with a cup of coffee on buymeacoffee.com. Just follow the link in the description below or in the end of this video. Until next time, bye!